Welcome to Learn to Code, where everybody can code. In today's video, we are going to learn about the control structure, or also called as control statements in a C programming language. First of all, what is meant by control structure? As the name itself suggests, it controls the execution flow of a program. A program is nothing but the execution of the sequence of one or more instructions. Most of the time, it is required to change the sequence of the statements in the program, depending upon certain circumstances. That is, we have a number of situations where we may have to change the order of execution of statements based on some condition, or repeat a group of statements until some specified conditions are met. This involves a kind of decision-making to see whether a particular condition has occurred or not, and based on the condition it directs the computer to execute certain statements accordingly. Based on the application, it is necessary to alter the flow of a program, test the logical conditions, control the flow of execution as per the selected condition. C programming language supports mainly three types of control statements. First, decision-making statements. Second, loop control statements. Third, unconditional control statements. Decision-making statements include simple if statement, if-else statement, nested if-else statement, else-if ladder, switch statement. Loop control statements include for loop, while loop, do-while loop. Unconditional control statements include go-to statement, break statement, continue statement, return statement. Now we will discuss the decision-making statements in C programming language. These statements change the flow of execution, depending on a given logical condition, used to execute or skip some set of instructions. First, simple if statement. If statement is a powerful decision-making statement, and it is used to control the flow of execution of the program. Following is the syntax of simple if statement. It is basically a two-way decision statement, one for true and other for false. But here we use the simple if statement. It has only one option. The statement is executed only when the condition is true. In case the condition is false, the compiler skips the lines within the if block. The condition is always enclosed within a pair of parentheses. The conditional statement should not be terminated with semicolons. The statements following the if statement are normally enclosed in curly braces. The curly braces indicates the scope of if statement. The default scope is one statement. But it is good practice to use curly braces even with a single statement. The statement block may be a single statement or a group of statements. Following is the flow chart for if statement. If the condition is true, the statement block will be executed and executes the rest of the program. If the condition is false, the statement block will be skipped and the rest of the program executes next. Now we will write one program to better understand the simple if statement. Here we are writing a program to check the equivalence of two numbers. #include stdio.h. int main function. Opening curly bracket. Return 0, closing curly bracket. These are the basic lines of code. Almost every C program has this line of code. Now we declare two variables for storing two numbers as int m, n. Now we will get the input from the user. For that purpose, we are using scanf function. Here we write %d, because we are getting the input as an integer from the user. Here we write if condition, for checking that the given numbers are equals or not. If the condition is satisfied, it will execute the if block and print, the two numbers are equals. If the condition is not satisfied, it will not execute the if block of code and print only thank you. For input 10 and 10, the output is these. And for input 10 and 20, the output is these. You can also try this program by yourself with an offline compiler or online compiler. The program and the link of the online compiler are given in the description of this video. Now we will discuss the second type, that is if-else statement. It is observed that the simple if statement executes only when the condition is true. It does nothing when the condition is false. But an if-else statement, either true block or false block, will be executed. The else statement cannot be used without if statement. Following is the syntax and flowchart of if-else statement. If the condition is true, the true block statement will be executed, and executes the rest of the program. If the condition is false, the false block statement will be executed, and executes the rest of the program. Now we will write one program to better understand the if-else statement. Here we are writing a program to print the given number is even or odd. Now we declare one variable for storing one number. Int n. Now we will get the input from the user. For that purpose, we are using scanf function. Here we write %d, because we are getting the input as an integer from the user. Here we write if condition for checking that the given number is even or odd. If the condition is satisfied, it will execute the if block and print, the given number is even. If the condition is not satisfied, it will execute the else block and print, the given number is odd. For input 8, the output is these. And for input 9, the output is these. You can also try this program by yourself with an offline compiler or online compiler. The program and the link of the online compiler are given in the description of this video. Now we will discuss the third type, that is nested if-else statement. Using of one if-else statement in another if-else statement is called a nested if-else. When a series of decisions are involved, we may have to use more than one if-else statement in the nested form. Following is the syntax of the nested if-else. If condition 1 is true, then it enters into the outer if block, and it checks condition 2. If condition 2 is true, then statement 1 will be executed. If condition 2 is false, then statement 2 executed. If condition 1 is false, then it will skip the outer if block, and it goes to else block, and condition 3 checks. If it is true, then statement 3 executed, else statement 4 executed. Following is the flowchart of nested if-else statement. Let's write a program to illustrate the use of nested if-else. The above program checks if a number is less or greater than 10, and prints the result using nested if-else. Firstly, we have declared a variable num with value as 1. Then we have used if-else condition. In the outer if-else, the condition provided checks if a number is less than 10. If the condition is true, then and only then it will execute the inner loop. In this case, the condition is true, hence the inner block is processed. In the inner block, we again have a condition that checks if our variable contains the value 1 or not. When a condition is true, then it will process the if block, otherwise it will process an else block. In this case, the condition is true, hence the if block is executed and the value is printed on the output screen. The above program will print the value of a variable and exit with success. Try changing the value of the variable to see how the program behaves. This is the output of this program. You can also try by yourself with an offline compiler or online compiler. The program and the link of the online compiler are given in the description of this video. Now we will discuss the fourth type, that is else if ladder. This is another way of putting ifs together when multiple decisions are involved. A multipath decision is a chain of ifs in which the statement is associated with each else. Hence it forms a ladder. That's why it called else if ladder. Following is the syntax of else if ladder. This construction is known as else if ladders. The conditions are evaluated from top to bottom. As soon as a true condition is found, the statement associated with it is executed and the control is transferred to the rest of the program, skipping rest of the ladder. When all the n conditions become false, then the final else containing the default statement will be executed. Following is the flowchart of else if ladder. Let us see the actual working with the help of a program. This program prints the grade as per the marks scored in a test. We have used the else if ladder in this program. We have initialized a variable with marks. In the else if ladder structure, we have provided various conditions. The value from the variable marks will be compared with the first condition. Since it is true, the statement associated with it will be printed on the output screen. If the first test condition turns out false, then it is compared with the second condition. This process will go on until all expression is evaluated, otherwise, control will go out of the else if ladder, and the default statement will be printed. Try modifying the value, and notice the change in the output. This is the output of this program. You can also try by yourself with an offline compiler or online compiler. The program, and the link of the online compiler are given in the description of this video. Now we will discuss the fifth type, that is switch case statement. The switch is another conditional control statement, used to select one option from several options based on given expression value. This is an alternative to the else if ladder. The switch statement causes a particular group of statements to be chosen from several available groups. The selection is based upon the current value of an expression, which is included within the switch statement. The general syntax of how switch case is implemented in a C program is as follows. The expression can be integer expression, or character expression. Value 1, value 2, and value n are case labels that are used to identify each case individually. Remember that case labels should not be the same, as it may create a problem while executing a program. Suppose we have two cases with the same label as one. Then while executing the program, the compiler gives the error as error, duplicate case value. Case labels always end with a semicolon. Each of these cases is associated with a block. A block is nothing but multiple statements that are grouped for a particular case. Whenever the switch is executed, the value of test expression is compared with all the cases which we have defined inside the switch. Suppose the test expression contains value 4. This value is compared with all the cases until the case whose label 4 is found in the program. As soon as a case is found, the block of statements associated with that particular case is executed, and control goes out of the switch. The break keyword in each case indicates the end of a particular case. If we do not put the break in each case, then even though the specific case is executed, the switch in C will continue to execute all the cases until the end is reached. This should not happen. Hence we always have to put break keyword in each case. Break will terminate the case once it is executed, and the control will fall out of the switch. The default case is an optional one. Whenever the value of test expression is not matched with any of the cases inside the switch, then the default will be executed. Otherwise, it is not necessary to write default in the switch. Once the switch is executed, the control will go to the statement X, and the execution of a program will continue. Following is the flowchart of switch case. This diagram illustrates how case is selected in switch case. Now we will see the example of switch case. This program illustrates the use of switch. In the given program, we have initialized a variable num with value 8. A switch construct is used to compare the value stored in variable num and execute the block of statements associated with a matched case. In this program, since the value stored in variable num is 8, a switch will execute the case whose case label is 8. After executing the case, the control will fall out of the switch, and the program will be terminated with a successful result by printing the value on the output screen. Try changing the value of variable num and notice the change in the output. This is the output of this program. You can also try by yourself with an offline compiler or online compiler. The program and the link of the online compiler are given in the description of this video. In this video, we learned about the decision-making statements in C language. Decision-making statements are used to select one path based on the result of the evaluated expression. It is also called control statements, because it controls the flow of execution of a program. Hopefully, you have learned well from this video, made with extreme simplicity to help you learn the decision-making in C language. In our next video, we will see the loop control statements and unconditional control statements in detail. If you like our video, please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.